Okay, I'm about to start packing up my bookshelves to move to the new house. You guys always want a bookshelf tour. So I guess we'll do that while we're packing them up. I just don't feel like that's going to be that interesting, but ask and you shall receive. Okay, we're going to start with my favorite books on my shelf. If my house was going down in a fire, I would bring these with my children. It's my Acrylic Throne of Glass set. These are the most beautiful books I own. I will never in a trillion years own a singular book more beautiful than these. Here's the Assassin's Blade. And they all have quotes on the back. The Assassin's Blade says, "My name is Selena Sardathian and I will not be afraid." You could rattle the stars, you could do anything, if only you dared. Throne of Glass. Spirit that could not be broken. Crown of Midnight. Heir of Fire. She was the heir of ash and fire and she would bow to no one. This is the most beautiful book you've ever seen in your entire life. We are the 13 from now until the darkness claims us. Queen of Shadows. One more moment for her because you're joking me. The world will be saved and remade by the dreamers. Empire of Storms. For wherever you need to go and then some, the world needs more healers. Tower of Dawn. You can say what you want about Tower of Dawn, but I accept no slander on this page, and look how gorgeous this edition is. Kingdom of Ash, and you already know what the quote is. Once upon a time, in a land long since burned to ash, there lived a young princess who loved her kingdom. Put that on my headstone. The detail on these is just insane. Like, look at the King's Flame as you go down to Kingdom of Ash. We gotta move on, but I don't want to. Here's my ACOTAR books. These are honestly a prized possession because I worked so hard on these to bring you the most unhinged theories known to mankind and more to come if Sarah would ever give us the next book. We need this back. I'm 32. Okay, same thing with my Throne of Glass books. I mean, this was a labor of love. I have an unnecessary amount of Crescent City books. I have 2 copies of House of Flame and Shadow because I accidentally ripped the dust jacket on this one because I read it so many times and just tabbed the crap out of it. Had to buy this in hardcover first because the paperback wasn't out yet. Also spilled coffee on the paperback of House of Sky and Breath. You know what my Sarah J. Maas books look like. None of them look pretty. This is The Entire Realm of the Elderlings by Robin Hobb. I read the first series and I read like 1.5 books of the second series, The Live Ship Traders, and I, quite frankly, was bored to tears. Will I get back to this? I'm not sure, but I did purchase every single book. So I would like to think that I would, but not right now because it bores me. Red Rising. Love Red Rising. We'll be rereading all of these before Red God comes out. The original trilogy has my entire heart and soul. This is my bread and butter. Nothing will beat this ever. I don't care how good Red God is. It's not beating Morningstar. This is my favorite Red Rising book of all of them. But read these if you haven't. Okay. Trying to figure out how logistically I bring the Cosmere over there. I get this question a lot. Yes, I have 3 copies of Wind and Truth. Why, you ask? Well, I bought this one. This is the one I actually read and tabbed when it came out, and then the publisher sent me one. And then I think Macmillan Audio also sent me one, but I don't know. I ended up with 3 copies. They're fun to look at. Okay, we're gonna have to go section by section for the Cosmere because I don't feel like holding them all. The Stormlight Archive. I don't think that I can express to you in words how good the Stormlight Archive is. This is high fantasy, legendary for plotting. I don't even know. I don't even have words, okay? Just please, for the love of God, read the Stormlight Archive. Same thing for Mistborn, okay? Mistborn Era 1. Please hold, I need to separate these into era. Mistborn Era 1. Nothing will ever make me feel the feelings that Mistborn Era 1 did. Era 2 was fine. Era 1, unbeatable. Here are some random Cosmere books that you'll need. Arcanum Unbounded is like a little book of novellas and lore about the planetary systems, etc., etc. If you're a nerd like me, you absolutely do have to have that. Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. Oh my gosh. This is so good. I want to reread this. First of all, it's beautiful. I matched my tabs to the book. It's just so aesthetically pleasing. But this is like more romance than any of the other Sanderson books, and I'm just was obsessed with it. Tress of the Emerald Sea. This was fine. It was cute. It was a nice little breather. I would never in a trillion years read Tress if you haven't read anything else in the Cosmere, because you just won't get it. I feel like if I read Tress and didn't read anything else first, I would have been like, what on earth is this book? Elantris. This is my least favorite Cosmere book because I was just quite honestly bored to tears. I'll probably have to reread it at some point. Isn't he coming out with more Elantris books, or did I make that up? Don't put anything past him. Sunlit Man. This is like Cosmere lore soup. You also really need to save this for the end of your Cosmere journey to fully get the whole picture. And Warbreaker. Oh man, this was a good book. I need to reread this one too. The Skyward series, also by Sanderson. This is like a YA sci-fi series. Really good if you love outer space and Sanderson's writing, but it is very YA. But I enjoyed this so much. Divine Rivals, Ruthless Vows, and Wild Reverence. I forgot how good Wild Reverence is. My best friend actually just read it and was texting me about it this week, and I forgot how good it is. You guys all need to read Wild Reverence. You don't have to read Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows first, but I would to fully appreciate this. I stared at a wall with happy tears when I finished this. It's just so cute. Okay, we gotta hurry up. Here's all my Fourth Wing books. I don't feel that I need to say anything. This one's German. Everyone always asks me about this one. It's German. My friend Carly literally got it for me in Germany. The words are in German. I can't ever read it, but it is very beautiful to look at. Let's go through this giant stack of random romanticises. Oh my gosh, The Dust. And I will just tell you if you should read them. Ready? Alchemized. Yeah. If you like emotional damage. Dawn of the Darkest Day by Casey Woodruff. Yeah. It's also on Kindle Unlimited. This is so good, it took me by surprise. Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. Same author as the Caraval Once Upon a Broken Heart series. So mysterious and good and dark. This is really good for spooky season, but this was incredible. Silver Elite. I will not be arguing anyone further on this book. Yes, it's so good. Neverkeep by the Twisted Sisters. This is the issue I'm having with Neverkeep and Zodiac Academy. These are all Zodiac Academy and Neverkeep books. I love these books, but as I grow in my journey with God, I'm a little convicted to stop reading them because they're just so vulgar. And I'm like, what exactly is the plot? Like, you know? From Blood and Ash. Listen, I loved From Blood and Ash and Flesh and Fire for a while, and then the books just got progressively worse, and then I had to DNF the series because I just couldn't anymore. The War of Lost Hearts trilogy. If I have to yell at you guys one more time to read the War of Lost Hearts trilogy, did you get the idea? This is so incredibly annoying, but we're gonna have to do a part 2 because I don't have any time left. Look at these books that I just made a mess with on my floor. I hate myself. Anyways, I'm gonna film part 2 right now. I'm so sorry. Okay, love, bye.